I have seen an avalanche of comments on social media ranging from aggressive to insulting, degrading, just a lack of humanness, which is very disappointing, and a lack of kindness and empathy and connection. People seem to forget to speak from their perspective and their hearts, and anyone who doesn't share the same opinion is suddenly the enemy. And this made me think about our kids, a bunch of things, but our kids in particular, because this is what we talk about on this channel, right? Parenting and kids. In this video, I'll be talking about how we can teach our kids to be kind to one another. Hi, Ramona here with Encouraging Discipline. I bring you tools and support to help you develop more consciousness in your life so you can find more calm and confidence in your parenting most of the time. If you're new here, consider subscribing to my channel and visit encouragingdiscipline.com for more articles, freebies, and to find out how you can work with me. And while you're there, make sure you join my email list so we can keep in touch. We know how important it is to teach our kids soft skills, like showing empathy towards others and having insights into other people's values and points of view. These are all skills that are proving to be a main predictor of success in school, career, and life. Yet recent studies have found a decline in empathy among college students in recent years. And it's not just school and career success that we're after, that we're worried about. When I ask parents to make a list of characteristics that they want their children to have as adults, they never talk about grades, degrees, and sports achievements. In fact, all parents want their children to be happy, well-adjusted adults, caring, kind, responsible, and respectful. We know kind and empathetic people are happier, so how do we get there? And what gets in the way? One thing to keep in mind is that children are born good. They seem to be born wired to be empathetic and to want to help. In fact, there are studies that show that babies as young as 6 months show empathy for other people. So there's no question that empathy is there. The next step is learning how to act on that empathy. In other words, acting with kindness. We are social animals and we do best in groups. Therefore, it is important for children to learn how to behave in a group and to have skills that help them become successful members of society. They have to know to share, get along, help, support others, but also to ask for help and rely on others. Kindness helps to create a social group with strong bonds and a sense of safety. So what happens along the way? How do kids get to college and seemingly lose that empathy? Well, there are a lot of factors at play, but I will focus here on our role as parents because that's one thing that's in our control. One thing that we can control and focus on is our own attitudes. Our children are watching us and drawing conclusions. And here's an example, right? Recent studies tell us that children perceive grades and achievements as more important than being kind to others. And this perception comes from parents' attitudes. We tend to put a lot of emphasis on our children's grades and achievements, mainly because we recognize that there is a direct link between college acceptance rate and those achievements. As a result, children conclude that those are the most important things in life. And while good grades and higher education may lead to a higher paycheck, it's not a guarantee, right? And they do not guarantee a happier life and a more successful career. And when we emphasize personal success, kindness seems to suffer. Harmful behavior such as cruelty, disrespect, and cheating seem more acceptable to our children. If we want our kids to learn that kindness is important, then we need to show them that's what we care about. So how can we teach our children to be kind? I'm going to talk about 3 things here. And for more, you can click on the link in the video description to read the whole article at encouragingdiscipline.com. All right, the first thing we can do is to model for our children the attitudes that we want them to develop. Our children will not learn behaviors that we simply talk about and expect without offering them a real life example. It would be like the difference between reading about how to make a souffle and actually seeing a demonstration of it. You know, there's a greater chance that your souffle will come out right if an experienced chef shows you how to make it. Modeling kind behaviors includes not only treating others with kindness and respect, but also yourself and your child. And it doesn't mean to be perfect. When we make a mistake, we can admit it and explain to our children how we wish we had handled or done it differently. So that is all very helpful. Another way to teach kindness has to do with expressing ourselves. And I'm specifically thinking about expressing feelings and opinions. It is important for children to learn how to express their feelings safely, to go through anger, frustration, and other uncomfortable feelings without hurting those around them. We can teach them how to take space or ask for support until the feelings wear off. All feelings are important to be recognized and managed safely. Teaching children self-regulation skills is a long process, but one that will help them increase their emotional intelligence. Emotionally intelligent children know how to respond kindly to others in appropriate ways. You can watch my video on teaching kids to calm down. I'll make sure to put it in the cards at the end of the video. Now, when it comes to expressing opinions, this is where kids require a lot of guidance and practice. Kids need to learn to speak from an I perspective without attacking the other person for not sharing their opinion. Children tend to be frank about what they think and feel, and most of the time they don't want to hurt others' feelings, but they also don't realize how their words can affect a relationship or the other person. So here I want to give you 2 tools. One is the think strategy, and this is something I used as a teacher to teach kids to choose their words wisely, right? You can use this tool, the think strategy. You can ask children to think before they speak. Each letter in the word think is a reminder to ask oneself, is what I'm about to say true? Is it helpful to the other person? Is it important? Is it necessary for me to say it? And is it kind? If you teach your child to ask themselves these questions, they can learn to filter their thoughts before they roll out of their mouth. If you would like your own think poster to use with your kids, then you can get it in your inbox. Just click on the link in the video description below and I'll email it to you. Another tool is being discreet. As a rule of thumb, if a friend is not asking for an opinion, then teach your kid to not give it. The friend will most likely be offended by negative comments and that were not requested. And if your child finds it hard to say something positive, it's better to not say anything at all. Sometimes we just have to teach our kids that they have the option of keeping their thoughts and opinions to themselves. Not every thought needs to be shared. The third good lesson to teach kids is perspective taking. The first step in understanding how other people are feeling is to be aware of one's own feelings first. You can ask your child how they're feeling about or when someone is kind to them. Similarly, talk about how they're feeling when someone is unkind to them. Then follow up with an invitation to figure out how somebody else is feeling in a given situation. When children are able to understand someone else's perspective, they can build healthy, successful relationships. Another way to teach perspective taking is through books. Books are wonderful resources that can teach children useful and practical skills for real life situations. You can find books that teach children how to approach and include the new kid in class, how to stand up to a bully, how to help a classmate who spills, I don't know, juice on the floor or something. Most books show how the characters are feeling. So, helping your child to have a glimpse into other children's worlds. For older kids, you can talk to them about how their friends talk to or about each other on social media, how people tend to feel safer behind a screen, and they can be more cruel when no one can see them while they're posting something hurtful. And then encourage your child to also think about how the person reading this post may be feeling. Here are some questions that you can ask your child to guide through this process. What would that feel like? Or what do you think this person or character is feeling? You can practice these questions when reading books, watching cartoons, seeing a scene at the store, or when your child tells you about something that happened at school. Finally, we need to have explicit discussions with our children about what kindness looks like and what it is not. Talk about what kinds of things are hurtful and unkind, and what are some ways to show kindness to others. And here are some things that we want to teach our kids, to show kindness. Standing up for what you believe is right. Speaking the truth in a respectful and firm manner, even if some people may not like it. Setting boundaries in a respectful and firm manner. Respecting other people's boundaries. Taking care of yourself. Your child can make cards for teachers instead of you buying and writing cards for them. Let your child pick out the gift for his friend's birthday. You can give him a few choices. Write thank you notes together. Call family members to keep in touch. Check on elderly family members or friends. Involve your child when making pantry donations for the school. Finally, don't give up. Kindness is a skill that children learn over time with lots of modeling and practice. Our kids have limited life experience and an underdeveloped frontal lobe, so we cannot expect them to simply know what others are feeling or thinking. This is information that they need to learn and knowledge that needs to be built. And when they're all grown up and maybe going through tough times like we are now, hopefully they can support each other with empathy instead of stonewalling those with a different opinion. I hope these ideas have been helpful. Don't forget to grab the Think poster that I will link in the video description. And if you like this video, go ahead and share it with your friends and family. See you next time.